Narcissists are 100% done with you forever after they do this. Introduction. Narcissism, a personality disorder characterized by a grandiose sense of self-importance, a constant need for attention and admiration, and a lack of empathy, can be incredibly challenging to deal with. Whether it's in personal relationships, the workplace, or even within families, interactions with narcissists can take a toll on our emotional well-being. However, what happens when a narcissist decides they are completely done with you forever? What triggers this final decision that puts an end to their manipulative games? In this article, we delve into the mindset of narcissists and explore what leads them to cut ties permanently. Understanding narcissism. To understand why narcissists sever connections irrevocably, we must first comprehend the core traits and characteristics that define this complex personality disorder. Narcissists derive their sense of self-worth solely from external validation, going to great lengths to seek admiration, praise, and attention from others. Their inflated ego is a defense mechanism that shields them from any perceived flaws or vulnerabilities, leaving no room for self-reflection or introspection. Consequently, they constantly manipulate and exploit others to maintain their self-perceived superiority. The cycle of narcissistic relationships. Interacting with a narcissist often follows a predictable cycle, marked by love bombing, devaluation, and finally, the discard phase. In the beginning, narcissists charm and seduce their targets, showering them with affection, compliments, and gifts. This phase, known as love bombing, is designed to establish control and gain admiration. However, as time passes, the narcissist's true colors emerge. During the devaluation phase, the narcissist begins to demean, devalue, and emotionally manipulate their victims. They may subject them to constant criticism, gaslighting, and psychological abuse, leading to a gradual erosion of self-esteem. Victims are left feeling confused, isolated, and dependent on the narcissist's approval, perpetuating a cycle of toxic dependency. The final straw. While the devaluation phase can be painful and exhausting, it is often the prelude to the narcissist's ultimate act, the discard. This phase signifies the complete severance of ties, as the narcissist decides they are done with the victim forever. But what prompts this final act? Loss of narcissistic supply. Narcissists thrive on attention and validation from others, commonly referred to as narcissistic supply. However, if their target no longer provides them with the desired level of adoration or admiration, the narcissist may choose to discard them to seek a new source of supply. Perceived threat to ego. Narcissists have a fragile self-esteem, constantly teetering on the edge of insecurity beneath their grandiose exterior. When confronted with a perceived threat to their ego, such as criticism or rejection, they may retaliate by cutting ties permanently to preserve their fragile self-image. Fear of abandonment. Paradoxically, narcissists fear being abandoned themselves. To protect themselves from the vulnerability of rejection, they may preemptively discard others as a defense mechanism. By being the one to leave, they avoid feeling abandoned or powerless. Loss of control. Narcissists crave control over every aspect of their relationships. If they sense that their target is gaining independence, asserting boundaries, or challenging their authority, they may choose to sever ties to reassert their dominance and maintain their sense of power. The aftermath. Although being permanently discarded by a narcissist can be initially devastating, it can also serve as a catalyst for personal growth and freedom. Escaping the clutches of a narcissistic relationship provides an opportunity to reclaim one's self-worth, rebuild damaged self-esteem, and establish healthier boundaries. Recognizing the patterns and behaviors associated with narcissism can arm individuals with the knowledge to avoid falling into similar relationships in the future. Conclusion. Understanding why narcissists are 100% done with someone forever provides valuable insight into their destructive and manipulative behavior. While it may be challenging to accept, severing ties with a narcissist can often be a blessing in disguise, offering the chance for self-reflection and personal growth. By recognizing the red flags and preemptively protecting ourselves from toxic relationships, we can cultivate healthier connections and lead more fulfilling lives. This sentence may generate a rush of varied emotions, a sense of unease, a chilling reminder of a dark past, or maybe a smug satisfaction that you've finally seen through their machinations. It's about narcissists, and once they've done this particular thing, they are 100% done with you. Done forever. The elusiveness of the narcissist is what makes them intriguing but equally dangerous or destructive. They have a knack for pushing boundaries, violating trust, all while wrapped in pretty and seemingly rational or irresistibly charismatic cloaks. The unfortunate tagalong in their lives often carry emotional trophies of being used, abused, and then discarded without a second thought. The victims often don't see it coming, but there are telltale signs that the narcissist is done with you. Before we delve into the specifics, it's important to draw out a brief sketch of a narcissist. Narcissists tend to possess an inflated sense of self-importance. They believe they are exceptional and often demean others who contradict their self-perception. Their conversations revolve around bragging about their accomplishments with an excessive need for admiration. Deep down, though, they are vulnerable to the tiniest criticism and display an utter lack of empathy for others. This groundwork is necessary to understand the abruptness and coldness with which they end relationships that no longer serve them. One critical sign that a narcissist is done with you is devaluing. After a period of idealization or love bombing, where they made you feel like you're the center of their universe, they begin showing their true colors. The same person who was a borderline obsessive admirer is now increasingly disrespectful, openly critical, and undeniably distant. They no longer strive to understand you and may label you as oversensitive or irrational when you express your discontent. This tactic helps them to project blame on you, making you feel guilty while they detach emotionally. Another sign is when they stop trying to manipulate or control you. A narcissist thrives on playing mind games, constantly using manipulative tactics to make you feel less than, anxious, or confused. When they're no longer interested, their controlling behaviors may cease because you're no longer a source of narcissistic supply, a term used for how narcissists derive their worth or value. Thirdly, they stop arguing or fighting with you. If you believe that peace is finally being restored because the fights have stopped, that's a red flag. A narcissist uses arguments as a tool to further gaslight you and manipulate your reality. A sudden halt in these exchanges might mean they're no longer invested in the relationship and are mentally prepared to let go. Moreover, the narcissist might stop flaunting you in public. They often use their partners as trophies or accessories to feed their ego. They're likely to take you along everywhere, primarily to boast about their perfect relationship, you being a prop in their self-aggrandizing narrative. Suddenly, if you find yourself not being invited or ignored during social gatherings, take it as a sign. Finally, they replace you. Narcissist personality types always require someone from whom they can draw narcissistic supply. If they've perceived that you're not a viable source, they move on to the next person. In some cases, this replacement happens so smoothly that you might not even realize until the relationship's end. Coming to terms with the fact that you have been involved with a narcissist can be extremely painful. Recognizing these signs can prevent you from further emotional damage and help you to reclaim your sense of self. It's a harsh and lonely journey to heal after getting involved with a narcissist, but it certainly isn't impossible. Surrounding yourself with sincere and supportive people, self-care, and seeking professional help if necessary are steps towards healing. Should a narcissist's exit from your life be hailed as good riddance? Well, it's tricky. While undoubtedly nobody deserves to be devalued and discarded callously, unlike their departure, the entry of a narcissist into your life isn't always negative. They make you question your concept of love, relationships, dedication, patience, and so much more. They test your resilience and capacity to forgive. In their unique way, they may help you to unearth strengths and depths in yourself that you weren't aware of. So, rejoice in your strength. Be proud of having survived a narcissist. They may be 100% done with you, but what they leave behind is a 100% strong, resilient you. Remember, their departure isn't your loss. You've lost someone who used and discarded you. They've lost someone who genuinely cared for them, and that's their loss to mourn. Title: Narcissists are 100% done with you forever after they do this, understanding the destructive patterns. Introduction. Narcissism is a personality disorder that is characterized by a sense of grandiosity, an exaggerated need for admiration, and a lack of empathy. Those who have encountered a narcissist in their lives are often left feeling emotionally drained, manipulated, and discarded. Understanding the patterns of behavior indicative of true narcissism is crucial for protecting ourselves from the lasting harm inflicted by these individuals. This article aims to delve deeper into the subject, shedding light on the ways narcissists remove themselves from our lives permanently. The narcissist's idealization phase. In the beginning stages of a relationship with a narcissist, they employ a technique known as idealization. During this phase, the narcissist goes to great lengths to make their object of affection feel special, appreciated, and adored. They indulge their target with charm, compliments, and gifts, creating an illusion of a perfect relationship. However, this idealization phase is anything but genuine, serving merely as a facade to secure control over their victim. The devaluation phase. After the idealization phase, the narcissist's true colors begin to show. The devaluation phase commences wherein the narcissist starts belittling, criticizing, and undermining their partner's self-worth. They may subject their victim to verbal, emotional, or even physical abuse, eroding their sense of self-esteem and self-worth. This destructive behavior ultimately serves to fuel the narcissist's power and superiority complex. The discard phase, the point of no return. Having successfully devalued their victim, narcissists reach their breaking point and proceed to discard their targets. This is often a traumatic and devastating experience for the victim. The discard phase is characterized by the narcissist abruptly cutting off all contact, showing complete disregard for the feelings, emotions, and history shared with their partner. This final act of cold-hearted detachment leaves their victim stunned and confused. The motive behind the final discard. While it may seem cruel and heartless, the final discard is a strategic move on the part of the narcissist. The narcissist's motive for severing all ties is to exert absolute control and dominance over their victims. By abruptly discarding their victims, narcissists leave them desperate for closure, explanation, or reconciliation. This manipulation feeds the narcissist's ego as they are aware of the pain they inflict, reveling in the power it gives them. How to heal and move forward. Recovering from a relationship with a narcissist can be a challenging and lengthy process. However, it is possible to heal and move forward towards a healthier future. Some essential steps to aid in the healing process include: acceptance, recognize that you were involved with a narcissist and come to terms with the reality of the abuse. Establish boundaries, implement strict boundaries to protect yourself from further manipulation and mistreatment. Seek support, surround yourself with a strong support system including friends, family, or therapists who can provide guidance and validation. Self-care, prioritize self-care and focus on rebuilding your self-esteem and self-worth through activities you enjoy and fostering positive relationships. Professional help, consider seeking professional therapy to help navigate the complexities of post-narcissistic trauma. Conclusion. Dealing with a narcissist can leave long-lasting emotional scars. Understanding the destructive patterns they employ during their idealization, devaluation, and final discard phases is crucial for identifying and protecting ourselves from further harm. By recognizing our worth, setting boundaries, and seeking support, survivors of narcissistic abuse can embark on the healing journey and reclaim their lives. Remember, no one deserves to be treated with such disregard, and it is essential to prioritize our own well-being above all else.